Well, thank you very much, Miss Nikki Johnson, for coming on my show. And and of course, let's talk about you're the CEO of, I'm saying this wrong, but Gamutfilms. What can you tell everybody about that?
So it's
Oh,
Gamutfilms.
Gamutfilm, thank you.
Um, Basically, Gamutfilms it started with me and a girlfriend of mine. I was working on my trailer for my movie Seven Innocence. That's my baby that I've been working on for since 2019. And she was one of my actors that was in the trailer. And every long story short, I love the way she came in and did her thing. So we got kind of close, and she said, "Well, why don't we start a production company?" I said, okay. I said, yeah. I mean, I always wanted to do that, but I just didn't know where to start. You know what I
Right.
mean? So we ended up starting Gamutfilms, and right now we got Severed Innocence under that umbrella. So we're looking to, find, help more filmmakers and actors and give them opportunities. Now, Gamutfilm is women in business, because it's a man-driven business. So we're women in business. We're women in film. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's Gamutfilms, my friend.
Well, it's amazing. I looked into it. I'm so proud of you. Keep up the work.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Of course, you're in Women's Kill season 2. What?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked
Yes.
into it. I don't want to ruin it, but what can you tell the audience a little bit about it who have not seen it?
Well, Women Kill. I'm a kill. Now, that's a good question. So it's a very interesting series. I will say that show. I know, yeah, show. Um, Everybody on there was amazing. Lana Perillo. Oh my God, amazing, amazing. You hear me? Amazing actress. We kind of became friends on set because that was my first big set
And that's what I
to
was going
be
to
on.
talk to you about. I
Yes.
noticed that, a little bit about you and your history and your background, and, to be honest, that's how I found out about you. And it's the story, everything about the set, about the story, about everybody on there and all
Mm-hmm.
the cast. It, to me, the way you guys are acting, but more than, I'm not there in person. I understand that. But the more I'm noticing how you guys are interacting on TV, I could kind of tell you guys were becoming friends and family. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes. Very nice lady. Very. I respect Lana. Like I say, she is, and I'm gonna keep saying it. She's an amazing actress, and she was helping me on set because I was a nervous wreck. I'm gonna tell you, I was nervous, and she pulled me aside and she told, "It's gonna be okay. Just do it like this, and you'll be fine." I said, "Okay." And ever since that talk, ever since she said what she said to me, oh my God, everything went amazing.
Wow.
So yeah. And
That's
Joanna Kern's amazing director. I grew up watching her, and that was like a dream come true.
I was about to be honest, I was about to ask you that, but you already answered the question.
Yes, she was amazing. I was like, oh my God, from growing pains. But so that it was a lot of pressure because you grow up and you watch these people on TV, and then you turn around, they're a director.
Right.
Like, oh my God, what
So
a
if you
hot
mind me
stuff.
asking, since you saw her, did you cry? Did you get into like a little shock, or did you just
I was shocked. I was. I mean, I knew that she was going to be director because what happened was they didn't tell you who the director was until you booked the job. And a friend of mine's, he said, "Guess who's directing that scene?" I said, "Who?" He said, "Joanna Kern." So when I got there, the pressure was on. I think I got more nervous than
Uh-huh.
ever because I'm like, oh my God, she's right there. It was just weird, but she was amazing. She did an
So
amazing
when I'm
job.
sorry, when you approached the area and you saw her, did you? What was the moment like? Did you freeze? Did you? Well, I'm just trying to realize the picture. Like, what happened?
So when she came up to me, and she was like, "Well, hi, Nikki," and I'm like, first I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. Like, I'm like, "Oh, hi," and then I'm feeling with my hair. I said, "It's so great to meet you." Um, yeah, it was just awkward because I'm like,
Did she know it
you
was
don't want to be
awkward? Did she
right. You
know
don't
it
want to be
was
starstruck, but
right?
they always tell me my expression shows. I mean, I can't hide anything. So,
Right. So did she
but
notice that you were starstruck or froze or?
she did. I know she did. But she's been in this business so long. She just kind of overlooked it until when we finished rapping. Um, and then she gave me a hug, and that's when I cried. That's when I cried. I was like, "Oh my god!" She went up there. She hugged me. Yeah, I'll never forget
That's
that.
no, it's amazing because you just gave a testimony, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
grow up watching your favorite actor and actress, and you see your producers and directors, and then when you get to meet or work with them, it's like a moment like you didn't think it would happen, and so
Yep.
and that's you gave a true testimony. It tells you what you're telling people, the audience who are now joining the entertainment industry or not, or thinking about it. Don't
Mm-hmm.
give up on your dream because you never know
Absolutely.
when your opportunity will come.
Absolutely.
100%. So that's a
Yes. Absolutely.
big testimony you just said.
But it's the truth. It's all the truth. You know. I don't know how many times I felt like just giving up. Just like,
Mhm.
what? And there's nothing going to happen. I'm going to audition after audition after audition. But my mother told me, don't give up.
Right.
Never give up. Just keep going. Regardless of her beliefs or whatever, she still told me to keep going. And I did. And I booked that role.
And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
very,
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Now, a little bit about you is not too personal, but personal questions a little bit is
Yeah,
that did you grow up in California, or are you originally from a different state?
I'm from
And
a different state.
if that's the first question, and where were you originally from?
East Orange, New Jersey, baby. Dirty Jersey.
So
L-Town, as they call it.
when you were a child in your childhood life, growing up,
Mhm, mhm.
what was the moment in your lifetime that you approached your parents and said, "Mom and Dad, I want to be like that person. I want to be an actor." So, in that moment, when did you realize that it clicked and said, "Nope, I want to do this as my career"?
Here's the thing. I'm glad you asked that question because there wasn't no moment
Mm-hmm.
of me going up there, up to my parents and said, "Hey, I want to be an actor." I think I showed them better than I could tell them. But still, when you're younger, when I was growing up, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. Excuse my French. I didn't know what
That's
I wanted
okay.
to do, but I knew what I had. I got enjoyment. The enjoyment that well, how can I put this? I knew what I enjoyed doing. And that was when my parents had people over performing a song, always singing, dancing, always, either rocking back and forth and always entertaining people. So I never had that moment to go up to them and tell them that I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be an actor. And it's so funny because I didn't tell them until my 30s.
Wow.
In my 30s. Yeah.
And so while you're in New Jersey, um, what were you doing during, I mean, I know it's a crazy question. What were you doing during those times? I mean, in what the meaning by that question is, were you going to acting school, or were you doing a full-time job, or what were you, I'm trying to correctly answer the question this, but what were you doing exactly to make yourself that, well, correction, what to show your parents realizing, wow, my daughter Nikki Johnson is going to be an actress?
My mother told me, because okay, she seen, okay, when I was younger, she said she was in the kitchen cooking. I'll never forget her telling me this. And she said, all of a sudden you came out the room, she said, and you had this brush in your hand. I forget how old she said. I think she said 6 or 7. And she said you had a brush in your hand and you just going, she said, I should have known something then. And then fast forward to Christmas, I had, when New Edition just came out, shout out to them. I got my first record, Cool It Now. That was my first record. And it was Christmas day, Christmas evening. My father had some friends that came over. And when they came over, I had me and my cousin. I said, come on, Angie, let's go out here and let's do Mr. Telephone Man, for them. So we would perform for them. So, and it was so much fun. And my mother said, I knew you wanted to be somewhere in the entertainment industry. But, at that time, where I was at, it wasn't really
Right.
how to, like, brushed up under the rug. Okay, yeah, we see she likes to be an entertainer. That's over and done. So, yeah.
Wow. And then, from being from New Jersey, from the East Coast, what made you decide to move from New Jersey, fly or bus, go all the way to the West Coast to California? What made you say, you know what? I'm packing my stuff and I'm gone to California?
Wow. That is going to be a story to tell. That's a really very interesting story. So, to make a long story short, I will do that because we'll be here all night if I tell you the whole thing. But my father had mental health issues as well, and he shot at me. He ended up, they figured out that he was definitely, something was wrong. So he had 18 months in jail, but he could never come back to the house. So my mom and him separated. I was maybe about 16, 17 years old around that time. And they didn't get along, so they separated. My mom ended up moving to Detroit, and I ended up staying there in New Jersey. I wasn't living a very good life. I'm not, I'm going to tell my audience, I have no. Nikki J, I had a pass. So one day I got into a big fight where I was at, and I had to call my father and say, hey, I need a ticket to go to Detroit. I'm going to go be with my mom and her mother. And I ended up moving out there. I met this guy, and he had a sister that was out in California. So we ended up going out there because her baby died. So we moved out there. She got put out her place. So we ended up moving to San Francisco. We was homeless for a little while and finally got on my feet. And, I ended up getting rid of him. He was horrible. I mean, talking about, horrible. Ended up getting rid of him. He left a picture. Met a new guy that I'm with now, my common law husband. And I stopped drinking. And I said, you know what? Got my tax money. I said, I'm going to start going to acting school because I want to be an actress. Because I love to see people, because I know I love to see people smile. I love to see people happy. I don't like to see people sad. So I started going to school. I went to the conservatory in San Francisco, Sherry Carlson's studio. I studied with her. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I am so tired of hiding behind a class. Now I'm going to go ahead, get me some headshots, and go ahead and start putting myself out there. And I did. I would submit myself just randomly, like, I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. So I would submit myself out here, and I was getting a lot of hits. So I ended up finding myself always coming out here to audition. And after a while, when I, wanted to move to another area in San Francisco, it was not happening. So I was like, you know what? I told my babe, I said, I want to move to LA. I said, because I'm back and forth out here, I need to move to LA. And lo and behold, I manifest, I prayed, and I'm here. And that's how I got out here. And I've been pursuing ever since.
Well, that's an amazing story, and again, I'm sorry about your father. Mental health is
Thank
very important. Mental health is very important for my show. I talk about mental illness. It's a big thing about my
That's good.
show. But very sorry again. But it everybody has a story.
That's
Everybody has a
right.
story, 100%. So thank you for telling about your story.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It
Absolutely.
means a lot. By looking at your Instagram, and I bring this up, I see you have a lot of pictures of wearing your uniform, going down red carpets, you wearing your sunglasses and smiling. I mean, you have pure joy. Pure joy.
Yes.
You have your all the stuff that you're doing on your Instagram. I could tell you are making people laugh.
I'm trying. It's working because a lot of people, and you know what? It's so funny because I do not try sometimes. I don't try. I can be angry as all hell, and people just start busting out laughing. I'm like, what are you laughing at? They were like, but wait, I'm serious. So yeah, but I love it. I at the end of the day, even when I'm mad and people start laughing at me, when I calm down, I'm like, I love it. To see
Mhm.
people. I don't like to see people sad. I
No.
don't. And this is honest. I'm talking from the bottom of my heart. I don't want to see nobody sad. And if
Right.
I have to stand on my head and do this, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do what it takes to make you smile. Like you smiling right
Be
now, you
honest,
making me feel good.
I do see you doing that. It's amazing. Um, you know, we can talk a little bit about mental health here. Is that about me, about myself? I'm not afraid to talk about this, but I suffer depression, and
Me too.
um, and
Me too.
I'm losing 3 friends with suicide. And it's very
Yeah,
important that I talk about it because it's very important that we talk about mental health. And
absolutely.
we are here to tell stories about change. We are here to tell people stories, from a talk show host to an actress to etc. All the way goes down to director and producer, but we're here to tell people stories, right? And yes, the people behind the scenes may not realize our stories, but we do suffer. We go through pain.
Yes,
We go through up and downs. But I always
absolutely.
tell people, they're not alone. They're not alone. We can fight through this. And it's very important to
Absolutely.
do it. It's okay. Don't be ashamed to call your friends or your family.
That's
I
right.
always tell people that I always tell my friends and anybody, if you're a nurse, doctor, MSA, or whatever, it's okay to not okay. You should pick up a phone, text, and call your friend. Say
Yep.
how you doing. It's been a while. Um, let's have lunch, have dinner, because you never know that can impact someone's life. You're making someone's day.
Absolutely.
You're making someone's day.
Absolutely.
You know, and yes,
Hmm.
you can see us on TV or wherever, right? And it's
Hmm.
okay. It's like, oh wow, they might be thinking, oh, we live a normal life. There's nothing wrong with us. That's incorrect.
It
Almost
sure is.
almost everybody has something, right? And
Absolutely.
we should be ashamed of talking about it. So
No.
and
And I'm, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you're okay. No, and that's what I was saying. We all have to talk about it. It's very, very, very important issue
And,
in
and
this.
it's the truth. And it's the
It's
truth.
true.
How you pronounce it? Ryochi?
Ryochi, yes.
Ryochi. I just want to make sure I pronounce your name right because I got my head cut off one time for pronouncing somebody else's name. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not like that person. Don't worry.
I just want to make sure I got the right how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
But speaking on mental health, I don't know if you've seen on my page, and I'm gonna talk about it. And I'm gonna talk about it because I want your audience as well as whoever else that's out there in cyber world hear this. February the 13th, February the 12th. Let's go to February 12th. I have a daughter, mental health, mentally delayed schizophrenia. She, poor baby, she have all types of adult situations. Okay. February 12th, she stood over my mother, and wanted to hit her. I'm at work. My husband calls me. He says, "Hey, Alexis is doing it again. She wants to go back to the hospital." I said, "Okay." I talked to her. She said, "Mom, I want to go back to the hospital. I don't feel good." It's okay. Took her back to the hospital. Now, mind you, she's been in this hospital time and time and time again because they have to stabilize her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She comes, they turns her away. They told her she looked too calm. And the husband told her, like, look, she's trying to hit the grandmother. She's trying to hit the grandmother. And they said, well, she looks too calm. Sent her home. 5 o'clock in the morning, I leave out for work. Normal morning. Said bye to my mother. Bye to Alexa. She was jumping around with her earphones on. And by 5:30, my mother was gone. My daughter hit her on the head with a frying pan twice and killing her. And I also want to tell people out there, if you have a family member and you take them to the hospital and you know that your family member is out of character and feel like something is getting ready to happen, don't leave that hospital. I suggest, excuse my friend, sit right there. Do whatever it takes because this shouldn't have happened. So mental health is real and people need to take that more seriously.
Yeah. And again, I am so sorry about your mother.
Thank you.
I really
Thank
am.
you.
Um, and it's just, it's mental health is very, very important.
Yes, it is.
I have lost 3 friends to suicide,
Wow.
and
That's hard.
you see these warning signs. I've lost one when I was a sophomore in high school.
Wow.
And um, my sophomore or junior, one of those, but my mind was not normal. When you lose someone to suicide and you don't understand the situation, your mind is playing with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I got the news, I went back to school after Christmas and I heard rumors and I asked someone and no one I heard rumors and someone told me and I didn't 100% believe it until someone else told me. And I got home and long story short, I got the email and only thing I remember was I broke down and just cried. And it was like, wow, what just happened to me, right? And so it's kind of like, what? So my brain was like, oh no, I just, I just lost it, right? And it's like, so I'm sitting there, and I'm on my floor crying and thinking, what just happened, right? And I didn't know what happened. I just couldn't accept it.
Right.
I just couldn't.
Right.
And I just was like, stop, wait a minute, this can't, wait, no, stop. This is not, in my body just shut down.
Yeah.
And, but I have never been the same. And I can tell my audience this is that it's hard to make new friends.
Yeah.
Me,
I can imagine.
because
I can imagine.
you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's why, um, excuse me, mental health is very important for me.
And same here. And it's funny how the universe brought us together because we're speaking the same lingo. We're definitely speaking the same lingo, and we need to bring, awareness. And, like you said, you struggle from depression, and so am I. I'm on medication I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm on two kind of medication, PTSD and that. Yeah, you see me, I'm smiling, I'm good, and all over the place, and I want to make you laugh, but I'm human, and I still have these
Right. And
issues.
the one thing I will say, this is my goal, your goal is to make people smile,
That's
to
right.
make people laugh. So very, very important. I just wanted to talk about that. And again, I'm sorry about your mother.
Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome, and my heart goes out to you and your family, especially your
Thank you.
daughter.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, back to a little happy moment. Sorry.
Right.
Audience, sorry. So, you, especially you, big question is, do you have any upcoming roles that you can discuss?
I'm supposed to do a feature um, for a friend of mine. He's a great director. So that's coming up. I really can't discuss too much of it, but that's going to be happening. I'm going to be filming the end of July. So, see. So
Amazing,
excited.
amazing. I can't wait. Now, where do you, what is your greatest strength as an actress?
Greatest strength as an actress. Being able to inspire.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to inspire. I am a person that have been through so much, and I'm still standing, and I'm not giving up. So being to inspire is my strongest. Being able to inspire you. A lot of people tell me that in my DM. Oh my God, you inspire me. La, 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 la. And I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
because that show, and I'm slower in learning. I have a disability. People don't believe me, but it's the truth. Fake it till you
Well,
make it.
I believe you.
Fake it till you make it, baby.
Yes,
But I'm
yes,
still
yes.
here. I didn't let it stop me. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't let,
Mm.
Whatever obstacles never stop. So inspiring.
Yeah, that's true. 100%. Now, what role have you enjoyed the most as
In
of
my
right
film.
now?
In my film, Seven Innocence, when I played the jail person, that was my favorite role because I like to
Oh,
take it
yes.
there.
So that is the role I was going to ask you, but you mentioned it. That is, intense. We're not going to say the bad word, but I saw you, the actress who played the person that you put your hand on the cell. She played it really good. But you were intense. I mean, you put your hand on the cell and you did your thing. I mean, that was a moment right there. So, how many takes did it take for you to get serious and just boom, put your hand on that cell?
Can you believe it?
Wow.
Two takes. And
Mm-hmm.
my partner in Gamutfilms, she was the one that directed that scene for me. And I didn't want to do that scene. I was just like, I kind of want to stay in the back and give somebody else a chance. And he was like, no, this would be perfect for you. I'm like, okay. So I didn't want to, I was scared I was going to hurt the poor lady. I mean, she's like, what, 90 pounds soaking wet? So I kind of was like, kind of scared because she was like, rough her up. I'm like, oh, don't want to do that. She said, well, okay, well, grab the cell. I said, okay. And you would never guess it. I was just so timid doing it. I'm like, but then she's an excellent, she did an excellent job directing me. So it came out and I liked it. I liked the gritty role.
Amazing, amazing. You
Another
know,
Trejo.
that's awesome. You know, and what's the story behind it?
Well, it's about a girl that has a twin, and one of the twins is missing. They got into an accident when they was little. The good twin lost her memory, so she doesn't remember. The mother and father had died. So basically, the bad twin has been searching for her good twin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be a good reunion. That's all I have to say.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of murders.
And how long did it take for you guys to make that film?
Well, we did the trailer, and it only took us 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. No, I'm lying. Wait a minute. When we did the trailer, we did it in, I want to say, 1 day. Wow. We did it in 1 day. Yeah. Because kudos to my partner. She rented the boat. She got the studio and, stuff like that. So in a day, we rocked it. We knocked it out. We had some amazing actors on there that knew their job and they got in there, they killed it. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And then where can people see this film?
So if they go on www.innocence.com, the trailer is on our website.
Yes. So people, please check it out. Amazing.
Check it out, baby.
And so that girl that was in the locker, I mean, again, I know she was like, was she like nervous when you put your hand on the cell, or like?
She was shocked. Because nobody ever seen me like that. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take a lot to get me that mad. So nobody ever, my new friends that I met out in California, they never seen me like that. So, yeah, she was like, looking side to side. So I was like, I'm not going to hurt you. I promise. I promise.
I promise.
Yes. And I had so many people, I had a couple of people in my DM and, a couple of childhood friends. And they was like, Nikki, I remember you when you was in school and you was so sweet. But when I seen that trailer, I'm starting to think different. I was like, I'm still a sweet person. It's called acting. So, yeah.
And so, the lady, more about you, but the lady that was in prison with you, her name is
Kayla Moore.
Kayla Moore. Thank you. I paused there.
Kayla Moore. Yes.
And this was your first time working with her?
Kayla. Did I work with her before? No, I didn't. That was my first time. Yes.
And so, back you were trying to say you didn't want to play that role. So what did you mean? What was your role originally then?
The creator, the producer. So I kind of wanted to stay in the background because I wanted to see the, from the creation standpoint. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to give everybody else opportunities to be, to shine. And I got suckered into it, but I'm glad I did do it because I got a lot of people saying really wonderful things to me about that.
I saw the trailer. It was intense, but you did great.
Thank you.
I saw the behind the scene trailer about the camera. I said, ready to action. Amazing, wonderful. So bravo to the whole entire cast and the team. Great.
Thank you. It was amazing.
And so it took 2 tries, but how long did it take for you to film the whole thing? How many days?
We haven't filmed it. Yet right now.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We're in the process of trying to get it funded and also, or have somebody buy it. So we are definitely in the process of that. We had just finished up the pitch deck. So yeah,
I
we
cannot
just
wait. Hopefully somebody buys it or helps you and funds it. I know
I
it's
hope
gonna
so
be
too.
great.
And you be the first person I'll let know.
Yes, please,
I got you,
please,
baby.
please,
Are
please,
you
please.
in California?
Well, I know I go back every year though.
Okay, good, 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 good. Because then when we ever have our premiere, I would love for you to come.
Yes, yes. And I would love to have
Yeah,
all the guests on my show with you on here.
absolutely, that would be great because there were some amazing actors on there too.
Yes,
Trust me.
yes, yes. So, what do you, for you, especially as yourself an actress, every actor and actress is different, but how do you use yourself to approach into character on set?
How do I use myself?
Or how do you get yourself into character on set?
How do I get myself into character when I get into set? It's pretty flawless for me because I just kind of give myself visual stuff in my head and I just go. If you tell me I want you to be angry, I just want you to be mean, and all I have to do is just basically for a minute and just sit there and just think about something that somebody have done to me that I'm still fucking angry about, and it comes out.
Mhm. Wow.
Just that
And
easy.
it does, you're right. It gets you into that moment and the
Yeah.
angry moment. That's
For
100%
the
true.
angry moments, that. For the funny moments, I I don't, like I said, I literally don't try it sometimes to be funny, but it just comes out that way. So
And you seem like a funny person.
I can say one word and people just start laughing at me. See, there you go.
I mean, you look on your Insta again. I had to brag about it. You look on your Instagram, and it just you are just smiling. Every picture, every pose, every set, everything. It's like, wow, Nikki Johnson's living her life.
Living my best, baby. That's what I'm doing. Yes. And you can do that too.
Yes, amen, amen. Um, now, but here's a good question to ask you: is what do you believe is the hardest aspect of being an actress?
Learning lines. That's oh, memorizing lines.
And
Memorizing lines. But
what is your advice for any teenagers, any adult out there? Since the follow-up question is, how do you get people to memorize lines? Because I know it's hard. Like if you were on set and you're reading a piece of paper and then you memorize it. For example, it says Nikki Johnson's comes in the restaurant and you say, hello, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And then you walk into the restaurant and you're like, oh no, I forgot. So how do you memorize? What's your advice?
my advice for memorizing, period, and another a coach told me every day, find a monologue or find a newspaper clipping or a book or something, a paragraph, and memorize it. Try to memorize it every day. Just do something that's going towards, memorization, because you want to keep working that muscle. You understand where I'm coming from?
Mhm.
So that is the key. And I need to practice that too. But yeah, every day definitely read something because it does help. Because
Right.
I was doing it at one point, and I noticed when I was doing the more and more that I was trying to memorize something, when it came down to a script, no problem. And then you see yourself, you put yourself
Mhm.
into that character. What would
Right.
you say? You know what I'm saying? It's like you walk into it, you're gonna say hello, how are you, right? Well, some people don't, but you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Um, now it's the next question is what is the most challenging role you ever taken?
I didn't have that many challenger roles. I haven't had.
We'll come back. We'll come back to that in the future.
Yeah,
Definitely. You know, now, do you have any hidden talents?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any hidden talents that nobody knows about?
Hidden talents that Nikki have. Well, I'm a big girl that can dance, baby. There it is. I'm sticking to my story, Ryoshi. I'm sticking to my
And I
story.
can see yourself fanning yourself because you said it.
Right. Because I'm all woman. And, usually they don't see a lot of big women like us dancing. And I still be trying. It may be all wrong, but I still do it.
So if people want to see Miss Nikki Johnson on your daytime when you're not acting, where can
I'm
people
dancing.
find you?
They can find me at I am Nikki J _.
Well, that's a good one. But what I was trying to say is, what do you do for your spare time when you're not acting?
Oh, I'm home with my dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking my son because, like I said, he's also has a disability. So taking him to his programs and still handling business when it come down to my daughter because she's incarcerated right now, getting ready to go to a program. So there's a lot of calls that I have to take care. Take some family stuff. I want to go out or go to the park. We go and sit in the park, take the dogs, by the water, and my job, or I be at work. That's
right. And do you have any funny or interesting stories behind the scenes or on set?
Funny. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I can't think. It's so many things. Honestly, I cannot even think of one. Oh, when we was on the set of Severed Innocence, it was one of the serious moments. I found it funny to me when I looked at it. And the little girl that was walking down the stairs in a serious moment, she was laughing. uh, I'm like, but it was funny. It was funny to me. I had to laugh at it. I had talked to the person next to me. I said, the little girl is literally laughing, walking down the stairs, and the police officer said, "You okay?" And I'm like, oh my God. So I had to say that was the most funniest moment that I could think of off the top of my head.
So the police officer's laughing, the little girl's laughing, and then
Yeah,
you
she's
start laughing.
Walking down the stairs. I'm like, oh. I said, oh Lord.
How many tries did it take for that little girl not laugh?
Maybe I want to say about 3 or 4 tries. Yeah, 3 or 4 tries. She 3 or 4. She was cute though. She was a cute little girl,
Yeah.
and that was her first role.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it caught me off guard because I'm trying to see. All I see was teeth. I'm like, Mom, can you tell her to?
So everybody started laughing.
Yeah, because they seen the little girl just laughing, and the police. And what made it so funny is because the police officer is so serious, and she's like, I'm like, your parents was just kidding. Oh my God. So yeah, I had to say that was a funny moment off top of my head.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but it was great times on set. So
wow.
Great times.
Amazing. Again, congratulations, all your roles. So
Thank
proud
you.
of
Thank you.
You just thank you for supporting me, and I'm supporting
Absolutely.
you. We are all family in this entertainment industry.
How true is that? How true is that? Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Totally agree.
But
Go ahead. Finish.
Before we end the show, I just want to say, it's very important. Back to what I was trying to say about mental health. It's very important for us to talk about it because we are telling people stories, but also we are here to tell people they're not alone. And I think not I think we should talk about it. We should.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
You said it. You said it, Ryoshi. You definitely said it.
yeah, thank you for
Thank,
mentioning about it. Again, I'm sorry about your mother and your
thank
daughter,
you.
and it's just I will say this again. It just feels like that we as a society are afraid to talk about mental health,
Oh yeah.
and we
It's
shouldn't
like
be
the
afraid.
sun. No, we shouldn't. We definitely shouldn't. And the more we put it out there, the more we speak on it, hopefully people will start saying, well, I'm not alone. Like you said, no, I'm not alone.
100%. I totally agree with you.
Because even with me, with this, when I'm, because I was slower in learning, I was ashamed of it a long time until I heard another actor. He played on General Hospital. He was also slow in learning.
Mm-hmm.
But look at him now. He's on. He on General Hospital.
Yeah.
So that shows.
Right.
There's a
100%.
lot. It says a lot, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing.
No, nothing.
And you
100%.
know what the great Howie Mandel said about disabilities? I'll never forget this. I'm going to leave you with this. He told somebody on America's Got Talent that had a disability. He said, no, you don't have a disability. You have the ability.
Amen. That's what I agree. I totally agree with you.
Drop the mic, walk off stage. You should have seen me in my house. I was like,
I know. I believe you. That's 100% the truth. 100%.
yes. So I want people to know that it is the truth.
Yes.
Mental
It's
health,
the truth.
disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
don't be ashamed. At the end of the day, don't be ashamed.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be ashamed.
100%. I agree
You're
with
not
you.
alone.
So thank you for sharing that story. And
Thank you for having me.
I totally agree with Simon said. I saw that, and that was a mic drop. Mic drop.
You
Amazing.
seen it?
Yes.
Yes, it was. Drop the
Powerful.
mic. Yes.
Powerful.
And I'll
Yes.
never forget it. And I've seen Howie after a while after that, when I worked at the studios. And I had to tell him, I said, you changed my life when you said that about you don't have a disability. You have the ability.
Yes.
I could have
And what
kissed
did
him
he
right
say
there.
back to you?
I don't even think he remembered. He remembered. He was like, oh, he said, you remember that? Yes. And I'm sure everybody in the world probably remembered that because that was an amazing comment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Amazing.
I never forgot it. I never forgot it.
Me either. 100%.
Never forgot it.
No.
So
yeah. Amazing. Thank you. I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you, Miss Nikki Johnson, for being on my show. Means a lot.
Thank you
for coming on. I'm so happy to have you on my show, and I can't wait to have you back.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna talk about that because I got other stuff going on too. I forgot to tell you about, but we'll talk on the next one.
Yes, come back ASAP.
I will.
Please.
I promise I will.
Please. Yes.
As they said, be there or be square, because I'll be there.
Yeah, pinky swear and swear,
I'll be there.
Thank you so much, and we'll stay in touch. Can't wait to have you back on my show. It's been a pleasure, Miss Nikki Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I look forward to having you back. So you have a good night.
You too. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.